Welcome back to another episode of the White Bull Epic campaign. This is the House RuneQuest campaign for Chaosium. I'm Jeff Richard. I'll be your GM. And, this is, I'm afraid John Saxon will not be appearing in this particular episode here, but, we're ready for dungeon delving adventures in the Puzzle Canal. So we're ready to just dive right in. Okay, if you remember last session, you guys got your boat. And I've sent some pictures of what your boat looks like. It's a reed raft, big enough for 6 people easily, 6 people and some stuff. It is, if I recall, Colbrast, you act as the poleman for it. So yes. It's kind of like a fat Venetian gondola. And you all, you can see the canal, the system of canals. And if I recall, the canals are about, what did I say? About 10 meters wide, so about for those of you who use the imperial system, about 31 feet, 31 feet wide in most places. The water is less than about a meter below the top of the canal. The canals are lined in stone, and you can see that there's a dozen or more low, and by low I mean about 4 to 6 meter high, small hills, all about 20 meters wide in the area that is covered by the canal. But otherwise, the whole canal system is open to the air, and in above the canal walls are shrubs and ivy and bristle plants and all that kind of good stuff. So it's not very easy. You could go from your boat onto the land, but it's not going to be easy going. The last thing is that because you're piloting essentially a fat reed gondola, you're not going to be moving very fast through this. I think I told you guys it's going to be about about 40 meters in 5 minutes. So about it'll, and the reason for this is you're taking, it's just your pole, and you're trying to wedge this thing through, and there's algae and all sorts of fun with this. And the canal itself, irritatingly, is deeper than your pole. The canal is...
that makes it super hard.
Yep.
That is irritating. We could just get a bigger pole. Okay.
What
Does anybody want, using our hands as pedals?
You try to use your hands if you want.
But we are inside, so the poles can go to the wall, and we can use the walls to push us forward.
Yes, as somebody who has done that for you before in the past, that's not pleasant. Do you remember when we stayed at the Wasserberg?
We have enough men here who can do it.
Well, I'm sure Gina isn't going to be involved in the paddling.
No.
Yes.
Well, I have to be ready to defend us if anything happens and jumps out and attacks us. So you don't want me trying to put my sword away and be paddling.
Yeah. So how deep is the canal? You sort of test it a bit, You
want to test it?
Yep.
It's about 5 meters deep.
I'll just get a 7-meter pole.
Keep in mind, a 7-meter pole is pretty big.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and you can
don't
do
have
it.
To do much. You just pull. I mean, it's not different.
It just means you're very slow.
Yep.
Especially since, is there anybody else who's helping you pull your way through? Hands up, guys. Is anybody else grabbing a 7-meter stick and helping to move the raft forward?
No 10 feet ones. I like to be traditional.
And foot one is useless.
I think it's quite good if Garen has a pole that doesn't actually reach the bottom, because then he can't mess up my navigating.
Well, you know what he can use? He can have the pole in case he needs to push off the sides as we go if we get too close to the side.
Also useful in case anything comes at us across the sides.
Yeah.
In fact, do we want to have grabbed some spears? Because I mean, while my sword is wonderful, if things are on the banks, we're probably going to want something slightly.
I got a spear. With me.
Aaron, are you even going to touch a spear?
I didn't say I was. I said, should we?
You know, as a good worshiper of Yamalio.
That's right, Garen. Aren't you a lay member of Yamalio, the spear god?
Where better than here under the sun to get into this?
I just discovered something.
Oh.
I can shoot a bow.
Oh.
Oh, okay, that's useful.
Actually,
Nice.
on 40%.
You used it before in the game.
No, I used my axe.
No, you used your bow as well.
Yes.
Did once use your
Shooting brew.
Oh, yeah.
So you see my exciting drawing of a raft.
Beautiful.
It's an Easter egg.
Fantastic.
Right? In the back is Coldbrass. I want to, this is important for what goes on here. All right, who's in the front of the boat? Who's got the stern?
I may have to be Garen with this pole, with this 10-foot pole.
Actually, I think Carl and I should be in the front to look out for ghosts or spirits or so.
And look pretty.
Yep.
Could also look for, bargrass. Maybe left clues or trails, or
how dark
Yes.
is it in there?
maybe smell.
Well,
hardware smoke.
right now it's not dark at all because you guys are going through the canal in the big rubble, and there isn't a lot of shade on the sides of the canal, so it's nice and bright.
But we brought some torches.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I did.
So
You got to hold it up. Yeah, there you go.
so next question is, where is Nisk and Garen?
I like how the arrow looks like Gina is holding a parasol.
She is holding a parasol.
I am.
Yeah.
Right. We'll have the darkness on one side and the not darkness
too
on the other
sunny.
side. I'll lower ball darkness. So I'll have maybe Garen behind Gina, and I'll be behind Nkala.
That seems fine with
Did
me.
I
exactly
have
the
darkness on
opposite.
41.
You did? Then that's
Yeah.
fine. It doesn't matter that much. We're not picky about it.
Okay.
We can always
So-
change move a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So that's basically how you all are on your little reed boat. The only other question I have is, so Nisk, are you, do you have your sword ready or a spear ready? Garen, do you have your sword ready or a spear ready?
I will have my sword ready.
Yeah, my preference is to have a sword. I'll have a spear down below, ready to pick up at a moment's notice. And I've got a couple of javelins down there in the boat too. I'm equipped to go.
All right. And Nkala, are you armed? Are you carrying a weapon right now or not?
I have my axe, but it's not like I'm gonna be swinging it. I'm like leaning on it or something while scouting for spirits and possible. This is supposed to be the puzzle canal filled with riddles or something. So I look at the walls and be observant.
Well, the walls are, as you go in, each of the walls are made out of shaped blocks of stone. Really, really well made. An example would be, a point of comparison would be, if you could imagine or are familiar with Incan construction, with those really impressive stonework. Every stone that no mortar was needed in this. Every stone perfectly lines into another stone. And even though this has been centuries and centuries of neglect, the walls are still in perfect shape. So let's go forward into the canal. And you don't have to go, you don't go all that awfully far, maybe 40 or 50 meters or so before you are faced with a decision, Colbrast. The canal goes forward, left, or right. So there's a channel heading to the right.
How does it look? Or which way is straight on?
You know what I
There's
actually
straight on, to the left or to the right. Now, Jeannie, you can say something.
I actually have my stick with my charcoal on my hand. Remember, this is what we prepped last time. I'm not having a weapon. I have my stick with the charcoal, so I can make markings on the wall. Are the walls black or regular stone or whatever?
The stone looks like it's a sort of sandstone that would be common here in
so black markings
this area. They're gonna work.
Okay, I make actually always arrows in the direction we take.
So you tell me, where do you want to go, Colbrast? Straight ahead,
don't you want to make a sign where we came from?
Yeah, the came from is the other side of the arrow. Other side of the arrow.
No, you want to make a sign from the place we came from, not where we're going. Because when we go back, we want to know where we came from.
What is the difference?
Well, if you come to an intersection of canals and you have the sign that tells you, yes, this is the canal you took, you don't know from which canal.
The end is where we came from.
You can put a marking at the very entrance to it before it opens up, so you know that that's the way it is.
I can make a cross where we came from and the arrow where we go. Okay?
Yep.
Right. So, but Colbrast, you control the boat. Straight ahead, left,
it's
or
easier
right?
to go straight ahead, so just go straight ahead. I mean, if there's no obvious difference, as in,
they're all about the same. All of these canal passages are about the same width.
Yeah, we'll just go straight on.
I guess the question is, do we see anything on the walls or notice that perhaps Argarath and his trickster made a mark?
Good question.
Make a spot hidden.
This is our first.
I got my dice.
Not made many spot hidden rolls.
No, because you guys aren't really perception people. Most of the time.
It's nice to be
I'm gonna look for my dice. One second.
Cthulhu skill.
We just go somewhere mainly.
You guys are mostly bosses of people that look out for you.
Where's spot hidden?
I don't think that went very well.
I rolled okay, but I cannot find on my character sheet.
Perception.
Okay.
Yes. I'm
Spot hidden or search.
scan. Search.
No, it would be search or spot
Search
hidden.
is fine. I rolled a I rolled a 37 on a 38 on search.
Have failed quite badly.
I don't succeed on my search.
No, nothing at all. No, I can just search.
I do actually succeed because the base is 25, right? So it's 35 of 23.
Hey, there's some
I succeed a search.
hands up who succeeded.
Search, but not spot hidden.
Okay, there is some markings
spot hidden.
on the right passageway.
And is this Argra's handwriting or his signature or?
There are some markings in chalk similar to you or chalk, or actually I suspect it's coal. There's some markings on the right-hand
In
side.
charcoal. Oh, how recent do they look?
Make an intelligence roll.
Because I can see it once
Can
they
I
point
also
it out,
make
right?
an intelligence roll?
If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I saw them at least. I make intelligence
Yeah, I
I
times
don't know.
roll.
3.
No idea.
I roll intelligence times 2 on my dice. I'm not sure what I wanted. D100
I had-
rolled
yeah.
30.
In times 3.
In Kala, Gina, you're pretty sure that these are reasonably recent, within the last few days.
Look, guys, over there, markings. They're new and fresh. Do you see them?
And this is
No.
the only part of the intersection that is marked.
Only part of the intersection is there's a mark on the right-hand passage.
That's why they got lost. You see, they didn't mark the passage they came from. So when they came back, they said, whoa, wait a minute.
But you're going, do you still want to go straight ahead, or do you want to take the right-hand passage?
Anybody writing down what passages we do?
I am.
Let's go right. I mean, why not?
Maps are for the
Super.
All right, so
Okay, I
Cobras
pull the brake
moves
and
his
steer around.
and
Yeah,
What?
I just noticed something. It's really difficult to punt with just one arm.
what? Oh my word! I didn't even think about that. How do you do it, man? How does
Yeah,
Cobras do this?
No idea. Someone else will have to do it.
Does Cobras, or do you have a hook?
No, he has only one
No,
arm.
the problem is the power. You know, to direct the power properly, it's almost impossible with just one arm.
How much of your arm is gone on the left side?
Most of it, like shoulder or something.
So you can't even like.
No. I have to have some sort of very elaborate, you know, sort of, I don't know, tight. No, someone else will have to do it. It's not.
This is a
difficult.
problem because you have the best boat skill of the group.
Yeah, I can tell people what to do. It's no problem. I can.
That is true. That is true.
stand
So who
beside
is the
them
boater?
and criticize all the time. It'd be brilliant.
Who's going to be doing the boating?
I guess it would be the
This matters a
strongest
lot,
one.
actually, because Cobrast, you're right. Cobrast, one arm. You
Yeah.
really.
I
can't-
thought that went really slow there.
You're like.
Oh,
In fact, I'm going to roll for a second encounter because you were actually there twice as long as I thought.
Yep. At least.
That's not fair. Only because he forgot an arm?
I offered to heal the damn arm.
Yeah.
And you've also offered to pay for it to be regrown. But you know, people often don't want to have arms regrown.
but if we're actually embarking on a hero quest or already in the hero quest, if he casts his arms, don't they last for a while because time doesn't move?
Time's moving.
Does he have his? Are you going to do your dragon spell with a whole ton of extension?
Not for punting around the canal.
Perfect.
So who's the punter?
Okay, Garen, rock, paper, scissors.
No, I'll do it. I'll do
Now
it.
keep in mind, if you're doing it, Garen, you can't immediately jump into combat.
Okay,
but
can
it doesn't
protect
seem-
him.
It doesn't feel very fitting for a bodyguard to let his thane.
I mean, we've got the Thane, we've got the bodyguard, we've got the Praxian High Lama. I don't know if she even possesses a boating skill.
What's the boat?
And Carla will be
You-
smacked out of her brain after.
I have 10% in boating.
taking
10.
Katia for 3 nights,
1, 2, 3, 4,
or
5.
however
6.
long it's been.
That's right. She's pretty much well on the tail end of an acid trip for the last
Actually,
3 days.
I'm
so
better. I have 15% because I have a Modifier of +10 on
I
board.
have 15 as
Ooh.
well.
Does anybody beat Gina? As a
I equal Gina.
you're the best boater of the group.
I summon a ghost who does it for us.
Well, ghosts. The problem that ghosts have is that they're non-corporeal.
Can't we go with the flow of the water?
There is no flow of the water. It's a canal.
You will not tell me that I'm the best boater here.
I will tell you, you're the best boater here.
Well, we're
15.
equal. We're equal.
Okay, see?
It's
both-
just
we're
a
both
canal.
15.
Nothing can go wrong. I mean, if we bump into a wall, so what? You know.
Famous
what
last
about-
words.
I'm the marker. I write. I mean, the thing is, I can at least read and write to alien. This means I can make the signs on the wall for us to get
Great.
back.
Then you punt along, and when you come to the end, you make a mark. And
I
Don't need
cannot
to
do
write a
all the
poem.
work here.
An X will do. Don't need write flowing script along the wall.
Of course.
Esrolian.
I'm gonna roll again for an encounter.
It's very
just
nice
because.
X's and very nice arrows, you know?
So 30 minutes pass as your intrepid hero questers argue about who's going to be punting the raft instead of the one-armed person. Somebody, I'm sure your characters are more pragmatic than the players. Who's the person at this point who's going to offer to punt the skiff?
Garam.
All right. So, Garen, humor me and roll on your boating skill.
So I have a 15, but I'm presuming, given Colbrast is there instructing, do I get some kind of bonus from that?
If he succeeds on an augment using his boating.
Okay.
yes, I do.
Excellent.
Add 20 to your
53
skill.
from 58.
Beautiful. That's
So I'm nagging Darren how to hold the pole, and no, it's not his sword.
13 against 35. So that is a
Wow. So you
Well done.
actually have decent control of this thing. Are you going to go straight ahead, Garen, or are you going to turn to the right? Or are you going to go to the left?
I mean,
There's markers on the right passageway.
I assume we're here to find Argrath, so I presume we follow his markings. Unless anybody's got a
Mm,
particularly
That's a good
strong
idea.
reason not to.
No. No.
Nisk, we can't
Seems
hear
like-
you.
You just
I'm afraid, Nisk, that you have technical difficulties with your microphone.
I'm going to assume Nisk just completely agreed with Garen.
I'm going to assume. Guys, go a little bit further, and there is another case of a juncture between passageways, one going to the left, one going to the right.
I'm looking out for writing again. Now I know how it looks like. We should actually get a bonus.
I will give you a plus 10% bonus
On search?
on search.
Okay. Try.
Yes! 18. It's there!
Okay, there is, to the right-hand passage from here, there is another marking.
There you go.
Darren?
Same handwriting?
Well, it's not really handwriting, it's a crude marking. Like somebody crudely jotted this on using their like you guys from a distance. Jot.
But mine are nice markings, Jeff.
Guys, I just had this strange thought. If Argraff is going on a hero quest, will he really pause to mark which way he took in the puzzle canal?
Yeah, I think
No,
he
I
would.
think so. I don't.
Depends if you want to be able to get out again.
Yeah.
You'd say just to, out of character. You'd say, if somebody was recreating Theseus's hero quest, you'd have threat. So, and we don't know what this hero quest is. So
That's true. Maybe it's part of the hero quest.
So I'm basically going to be following Gina's instructions. So if she says, "Look, there's a marking, we go right here," I pole right because she's at the front of the boat examining the way. So she's basically our guide at the minute, I think. No pressure.
No. I make my own markings under the markings.
Well, I mean, it's something, she is used to guiding people around.
Mhm.
She
Exactly.
certainly tells Olgar what to do.
And the dead people.
I meant more, the dead people. But yeah, Olga, obviously, he has lots of
As
practice
you all-
on him.
I'm
As
pretty
you-
sure Orgo would have had a good skill in boating.
Not at all.
Hey.
As you all head through to the right, there's a herd of about 18 goats chewing on vegetation above the canals. They can look at you with their weird eyes, because goats have weird eyes.
Spirits.
But pretty much will ignore you all. But it's a lot of goats. I mean, there's just a lot of goats here. And you guys paddle on past the goats.
There's nothing special spirit-wise about the goats.
There is nothing special about the goats beyond the fact that it's a lot of goats. It really is a lot of goats. Did I mention that?
A lot of goats. You said
How
that.
many goats are a lot? I thought you said 12.
18.
Oh, 18. Okay. And we're not here to, take home some goats.
Not particularly. But you all pass through this group of goats and get to another junction where it goes left or right.
Yes, I look for another marking. Nope.
is that-
This time somehow
I'll
I
try.
cannot see anything.
I succeed. First time.
I have a stupid question. Did we go left or right on the previous one?
Right.
Right, yeah.
Do we see a marking, Jeff? I did succeed.
There is a marking on the left-hand side.
Assume we go left then.
But it makes no sense. You should always go in one direction in labyrinth.
Unless you have the key to the maze.
Yeah.
Or you're being led by something, or you're following something,
Or misled.
misled. But again, that could be that
Part
purpose.
of the thing, yeah.
Remember, on
Really?
every corner I make my markings, yeah, in Astrolian handwriting.
Okay. Well, you all had, and the vegetation is all over the place here as you all head through this. And there is just ivy and berries that have basically gone over the canal walls here. And that there is another junction that goes straight ahead or leftish in this heavily vegetation covered area.
And another scan or for search for markings?
I would like search to be at -30 because of
Yeah.
the conditions.
Does it look as though this vegetation is particularly fast growing, as though maybe there was a mark, but the vegetation has already covered it? Like
Could be.
growing-
This is okay. Well, I know in the UK it's the same thing. You know how fast berry brambles, blackberries, and all of that grow. I mean, it's just like overnight they seem to expand.
Well, let's see if I have a
And
spot.
this area here looks particularly overgrown. So it could be that it's grown over since it was marked.
Can I kind of?
Did
I'll
anybody
shout this
see
out to
anything?
maybe somebody at the front. You know, maybe to Colbrast or Nisk or
I'll have a look.
Encarlo, and tell them to try and hack away at some of the foliage.
I'd
Yeah.
be careful about that before. You might pull something. We may impact the spirit. I check if there's spirits or anything before we do such things.
Okay, I'll look
But
for
does anybody
spirits.
see it? Did anybody? I didn't see the path marked. Does anybody
No.
else see it?
Nope.
No,
So yeah, look for spirits and then start hacking away at the vegetation. Real carefully anyway.
There are a lot of plant spirits here in Kala. And there are you can see that some of the plants that are around here on the side have very strong spirits. So are you going to hack or not?
No, I'm gonna ask them if someone has passed and which way they went. Has someone
Okay.
like us passed through here and where did they go?
Well, you're going to have to talk. Is anybody else going to cut these plants? Hands up if they do.
Wait, don't cut yet, wait.
I was just going to sort of lift them away and look underneath if I see anything, but I didn't see anything. So
I didn't either. Nothing.
Okay, would you make your spirit speech?
25, that's a success.
The spirits here say that they are children of Mirthdrya, and they do not serve you. They
What?
say they can sense the eater in you. They do
Yeah.
not serve you. You are not our friend.
Children of whom?
Mirthdrya.
Who is?
Inkala, does Inkala have any idea? Probably not.
Probably not.
How good is your knowledge of Aldrayami or plant thingies? How good's your plant lore? Do you even have plant lore? Do you even know what a plant is?
I do,
Oh,
but that's why they shouldn't be so worried because I don't really eat that much plants, do I? And
No, you
I
don't.
tell them this. I eat meat, not plants. Plant lore, 20%. I can try.
Okay.
No.
No.
But I do tell them I am an eater of meat. Those that eat you, not the plants.
You are not our friends. We know you. We know this.
would my Earth rune help?
How strong is your darkness rune, Claudia?
41 on my darkness.
How
90
strong
on
is
my
your
Earth.
death rune?
95, but my Earth rune is 90.
I could talk to the plants.
Mhm.
Being a sunny sort of guy since a few weeks, I'm sure they'll appreciate that I'm the bringer of life, and they'll hail my appearance.
You know, I'm gonna let you roll against your fire sky rune to convince the spirits that it's okay for you all to pass, despite you've got all these dark
Hæ?
death folk.
Jeg har ikke tenkt å kaste fuglene blir større, det. De kommer til å leke på det etter hvert.
Oh, hi, do you even have the darkness rune,
Jeg kan
Colbrest?
demontere den og legge den neste.
I don't.
For those of you all watching this,
and
that was
very high.
Norwegian in action. It's a cool language.
Yeah, and I have a very high water rune.
Oh, did you hear me? Did the mic not turn off?
No, we heard you.
Turn
No, it did not turn off.
I'm sorry, this was supposed to turn off when I flipped
Yeah,
that one, but
it
apparently
doesn't.
it didn't. Okay.
So I
Sorry.
have water rune at 95. I'm sure they'll appreciate that as well.
Yeah, but what's really important is your fire sky.
Yeah, that's only 30. So we'll see.
You can augment it with your water rune.
Okay, so that's the augment that worked. Just a normal augment.
Add 20.
Okay, so that's 50. 52. I get it slightly wrong.
These weeds, and it's like this. You know, when you go into the ocean, you go by the ocean, you see those big, long tendrils. It's an algae growth, but it's like kelp with a tube. There's a lot of those sorts of weeds there, and it's kind of moving towards the tendrils kind of are floating towards by your boat, but they don't seem to be terribly angry with you, Colbrest, but they're also not doing what they're not telling you all anything.
Okay.
We still could cut them.
Yeah.
If they'd attack them.
They're powerful.
I have fertility, and I have a relationship to another plant goddess.
Well, how do you want to roll on that, oh person who had a dalliance with a dryad?
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see how it would help very well. I could mention that I am one who has. I'm a friend of plants because I have.
Because you have a dryad girlfriend. Yes, we all know this.
Pretty well, you know. But that's about all. I mean, I've got fertility. I could use that. Other than that, in terms of communication, I just don't have regular that. I could use charm. Although I don't even know if I can speak to plant spirits.
You talk with Inkala about how you propose to do this. Do you have any tokens of your relationship with the dryad? Do you have anything you got from her?
I think I gave her something. She doesn't have anything she gave me.
Any magic that you got from her?
Oh, yes. She gave me the ability to heal body. Actually, I want to cast a heal body to prove it.
No, but do you have a relationship passion with her?
I do.
I would let you roll on that there to manage to get some sort of interaction with the spirits.
Can I try and augment with my fertility?
Yes, you can.
Okay, augment is a failure.
Right, so go for it. How good is your relationship with your dryad?
Relationship is 56. I failed on my augment. Does that make me negative 20?
And no, it makes you, I believe, negative 10.
Okay, well then I succeeded with a 36. I succeeded either way. Yeah.
All right, there are coming out of the water elves. There's a number of elves sticking their heads out of the water of the canals. These are river elves. So these are river Aldrayami. They have they've got the basic idea of a body shape like what you would imagine a triolini or a mermaid. They've got the torso, arms, and head of an Aldrayami, but they, instead of legs, they have some kind of a whip, like a tendril, like a long length of kelp that lets them go through the water, and they pop their heads out here. And there is, golly, let's get an idea of how many of these there are. You know, I am no better. I should probably try to use electronic dice. There's a good 20 of them popping their heads out in the water and then popping down. And they carry, they're either carrying some kind of a throwing dart or a little lancet, a long, thin, sharp spear made entirely out of bamboo. And they're quite small. You know, they're like on average, maybe a little bit over a meter high. So they're quite small, and as far as you can tell, they pretty much will all look alike. They've got kind of a bluish green skin. And once starts speaking, does anybody understand Aldrayami?
I don't think so.
No. Is it related to anything?
Well, that's what we're going to find out in a second. I believe that is very distantly related to Earth speech. Why, yes, it is. How good is your Earth speech, Gina?
Where do I find it?
Under speak other languages on the left below communication.
Or it could be on the bottom of your
Earth
character
tongue.
sheet.
Earth tongue, I have 45 in Earth tongue.
All right. You can barely understand what they're saying. You can understand it. You can understand a few words here and there. But you can, would you roll against your skill and tell me how badly you fail?
Can I cast glamour to help her? Will that help?
Yes.
Nothing
Get another
can help me,
10.
you know, but I...
0, 0.
Oh,
No, I rolled a 99. They say, that way!
We're suddenly all shot with Aldrayami arrows.
They're cursing at us! They're mocking us!
You know it's worse than that, Claudia. They're gibbering and gibbering and gibbering, and you have absolutely no idea what they're saying.
can we try and trade talk?
Absolutely no idea. So, well, you want to try? Let us see. Let us see if there's any chance that they even know trade talk, given that
What
they don't
about
trade.
old Pavik, considering Pavis half elf, founder of this city? They may know a few words in that, and they're also the people who made it.
Roll against your old Pavik. But they're gibbering at you, and they're splitting.
I rolled a 20.
I'm getting a headache.
Yeah, how good is your old Pavik?
50.
They continue to gibber at you, Nisk. You say something very slowly and clearly in Old Pavik. They gibber at you. What do you do? They seem very, their gibbering though is very, very insistent. And there's 20 of them.
Does it sound like a warning or something?
What is your communication? Do you possess the skill insight at all, Colbrast?
Well, only own species, so that wouldn't really work.
I'll give you a half chance.
I have
for another
insight as
species.
well.
33, so that would be 17.
Go for it.
No, 44.
The 51, may I try?
Yes.
No, 35.
All right. Several of them swimming on top of the water. Let me just make sure of this, that I've got this right. Swim ahead of your boat. Another 6 are on each side. So when I mean several, I mean like 6 or 7 of them. Another 6 are on each side of your boat. What do you all do?
They want us to follow them and put us into
Aaron?
a trap.
And this is, I don't think we can, I think we have to go along with them, don't we? I mean, I don't think we can take 12 elves, especially given our current position,
20.
more of them.
20 elves.
20 are, well, wasn't there 6 alongside the boat?
I mean,
Each side.
if you put it this way, if you fall into the water, you're probably dead.
Yeah, they can just tip us over if they wanted to kill us
Yeah.
right now. So
I think we have to,
We keep our weapons down.
yeah,
We
non-threatening.
try to be non-threatening.
Well, I mean, we can be peaceable without laying our weapons down.
Yeah. Non-threatening, peaceful.
Yeah. I'll hold my hands up. I'm not taking my sword off. There are certain things.
Yeah.
Certain things I won't do.
Maybe someone could, sing a song of appeasement. Or
Yes,
something, so
yes,
that
I
they-
can do that. Is it one where I usually peacefully guide the ghosts into the underworld?
Do you have the harmony skill at all?
I have the harmony skill on 85.
All
It's a
right.
dirge. She's singing a death dirge, but it's very calming in a weird way.
Yeah.
You almost want to
Claudia,
walk right off
roll
the boat.
sing and
Into the underworld.
augment that.
So I augmented with my harmony rune, yeah?
Yes.
I have a 34, which is a success on my harmony rune, and do I get a check on my harmony rune for that?
Yep.
At some point I have to roll all my checks. And then my sing, I have a 90 on sing, so I have 110.
Sounds right.
60.
Okay.
You actually have 120 right. No, the spell would have worn out. Forget that.
All right. You sing this harmonious dirge as you head, instead of heading to the, you guys got to that juncture and you head straight instead of left. And they continue going. There's another juncture to the right and straight ahead. They ignore the one to the right and have you keep going until it gets
I
to
try to still make markings.
it gets to a T marker, a T junction where it can go left or right, and they seem insistent on you all going right.
What's their, so
Can-
obviously there are kind of, there are very different species and their ways are quite alien, but what kind of feel do we get from their body language? What seems to be their temperament? Do we feel like prisoners, or do we feel like they're kind of ushering us towards something important?
I think that's what our
Well,
inside attempt was.
That was what
Failed.
I tried to give all sorts of attempts here. They, as far as you're concerned, Garen, you tell me. There's at least 6 on each side of you all, another 6 or so in front of you all. They're armed. And periodically one pops out of the water and jibber jabbers at you in jibber jabber. Because
Yeah,
as far as you guys are concerned, their language is jibber jabber.
But
Well, I
is it
mean,
aggressive
that just
or
seems
not?
like sensible precautions to me. I mean, if I heard Garan Godstopper was coming into my maze, I'd send at least 20 elves to escort him. That's just sensible precautions.
They're not attacking.
I know
Yeah,
that-
On the other hand, they are displaying their weapons.
Yeah, but I know the plants aren't very happy with me, but I can't speak spirit speech with them, and the plants could probably speak to the Aldriami. Could I perhaps get a translation from a plant?
Well, remember, it keeps being different plants as you
Yeah.
travel through here.
Can I ask for a
Watercress,
short
translate for me.
break?
Yeah, let's do a quick break.
One moment, let's pause.
And we're back. And we're back. So the elves direct you all through hundreds of meters of canal. They have you go to the right. You head down another long, lengthy section until you get to a big intersection of various canals. Then they take you to the left, and you head up again a long, lengthy direction until finally, probably after 20, 30 minutes of Garen slowly boating his way through. And by the way, would you roll once on your boating to see if you fumble?
do I still have my Augment from Colbrast?
I'm going to make Colbrast try it again.
Yeah, I'm fine. I augmented.
Okay.
I failed, but only by 20. It's not a fumble or anything.
Right, you didn't fumble and hit any of the elves with your pull. That's really what I was checking on, is whether you either flip the boat or hit an elf, or both, which would be awesome. You end up after all of these hundreds of meters of twisting, zigzagging canals, you enter an area. You can see that you're approaching one of these covered areas, and this is from a distance, it looks like you're entering a hill about 5 meters high above the rest of the canal complex. And
Is it like a cave or an overhanging piece of rock? Or?
well, yeah, as you get closer to it, there is that stone structure forms basically a lintel, and then there's a little bit of stone around it, and some stone walls, and then top of it is dirt and plants.
Hmm.
And it's a passageway entering into the darkness.
Okay, time to
Can you
light the
use your
torches.
light spell right now? I'd rather not light torches with the plants around. I don't know if they care or not. Aldriami don't like fire.
Oh, yeah, sure.
At least to see what happens.
I'll cast light.
All right.
Just the normal version.
Yeah.
You cast a light once you enter into this grotto, and the light just goes on and on over an underground black lake. Those of you all have a death rune above 50, just roll on it.
Yeah.
I rolled 100.
I
Not
rolled.
my day.
I rolled an 82, but that's still a success.
I roll a
Just.
36. 36.
And Kala and Garen, this is the underworld. It very much feels to you, you know this is tied to the underworld. Gina, you have no idea what this weird...
But I'm actually.
It's
Ah,
the underwater world. That's your
It's-
problem.
Yeah.
You're
exactly.
expecting Kevin Costner to jump out.
Exactly. This is clearly, this is it's like it's about 4 meters above the water, right? So you can, that's how
The ceiling, you
high
mean?
the ceiling is, about 4 meters above the water. But the grotto is over 100 by 35 meters in size.
So have we entered the underworld? This is literally the underworld.
Yeah, you remember when you were on your hero quest?
Yeah.
Do you remember you crossed rivers and you crossed waters? This is black water. This is black water of the underworld. This is not, there is no way that this would work if this is not part of the underworld. Garen, you're convinced of this. Same with you and Kala. This is tied to these waters are derived from the underworld itself.
Okay, so did we enter yet, or are there still plants and little Aldriamis around?
There are hordes of river elves popping their heads out here. And when I say hordes, I mean make a scan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's more than 60 in this grotto. That's and the water looks infinitely deep.
I think I'm gonna have to start praying, because obviously a living being, you can't have a living being in the underworld, and these waters are coming from the underworld. So is this I'm gonna basically kind of pray for clarity and pray to Humak to guide me in understanding what's going on here.
These water are not coming from the underworld. What nonsense are you talking about?
Clearly, look again, Gina.
Well,
No.
we've sailed black waters in my time as pirate. It's totally normal.
Yeah.
Exactly, Cobrast. You've been around the world. You've seen things. You've seen seas. It's weird, but you don't feel that link that Garen and Kala do.
And of course, I know about this strange obsession certain of my friends have with the underworld. So they obviously would, jump at the possibility at once.
Whereof one does not know, trickster, thereof one must be silent. These are the waters which divide the living from the dead.
God, are you going to
what are these
line
creatures
again?
which forms the line?
But what about the creatures that swim between it? Because they started and that was all plant and life.
And
now we're here. There are no more plants on the walls, are there?
There is right near the walls. There were quite a few of those when you entered. There was quite a lot of that weird tendril kelp stuff. But now you've gotten into the broader water.
Elves. I mean, come on, they're obviously all alive. So this is just
and amongst the center of the group of the elves, and you can see them in the light that you cast. Are you going to cast a spell again? It only lasts 2 minutes, Cobras.
yeah. Well, in that case, I'll cast it again. It's the it's the fire crystal that is shining.
It's-
So it's a sort of a sunlighty sort of light. So I'm sure they'll love that.
Oh, that's right. So it's a it's only one magic point to keep it going.
Yeah. I'll keep it going
For now.
There is a female elf, and she has around her, she is wearing all sorts of crystals and jewelry, and all sorts of decorations. So she's clearly an elf of some high status. She comes out of the water and speaks in very clear trade talk.
Good.
Yeah. Quite good trade talk, actually. Probably as good as any of yours.
Ouch.
She says that she is the priestess of Mirthadria, and you have trespassed into her realm. And she wants to know for what purpose you have trespassed.
Well, we will apologize to say that we did not know we were trespassing in her realm, and we asked your, I would guess, your flock for help, and sadly we were unable to communicate with them. But as you can see, we are coming in peace. We have come to search for a lost companion who has traveled in the canal and has lost their duty, and it is our duty to find him.
Okay, so the first thing I want to do is get a feel for how they react to you all. In other words, are they friendly towards you, or are they not friendly towards you as an initial gut reaction?
I stay very low.
Yes, that is anybody going to try to influence this? For better or for worse?
I'll try and influence. Well, can I use my harmony?
I don't know. Do you have any marker that, here's a quick question. Do you have any marker or anything that would denote you as an elf friend?
I probably actually have a tattoo, or yeah, I'm sure I have. When I learned the spell Healed Body,
Yes.
I learned the spell from, she taught me the spell, Tardisi, and it would have the runes, runes of elf and healing and magic on it, or something, or plant or something, I would expect. Because I assume that as we learn spells, we have them, we do inscribe them effectively and tattooed on our body, and I would certainly, want to keep that relationship.
Okay, I want you to roll against your passion to Tardisi, and if you succeed, I want you to wax eloquent about your connection with the dryad.
Okay, I rolled a 26, so that's under half, barely. And I tell her that I am Nisk the Wanderer, and I have met and I have loved loved the priestess of Ronaldo. I see her in my or of Aldrami. I see her in my dreams many times. You know her as Tarndisi, and she manages a she lives in a grove across past the desert, past the wastes, into the hills and mountains, near from the land where I was born and grew up. I sang her songs and gave her praise, and we shared moments, perhaps brief for her, for she is an immortal goddess. But for me, it is a memory that will last as long as this mere human will live. And she gave me as a gift, just as I gave her the most personal of gifts. She gave me this, and I show the markings of it, the ability to heal, the power that Aldrayami gives you, the power of plant and growth to do that. and I would not be able to do it without her.
Well, the priestess, and as an aside, the river elves are not fully humanoid. Their heads, shoulders, and arms are similar to those of land Aldrami, but their torsos dwindle to filaments of green plant-like material, which gradually tapers to a point. And their heads sport long algae-like filaments as well instead of hair. And they all look quite androgynous. And so I said the priestess is a female elf. You know, that's not really based on anything other than that you would normally associate the priest of Aldria, so the elf priests, with a female.
Right.
She or it or they look basically as androgynous as any of the other elves. But the priestess says that they accept your friendly greeting, and they demand only 7 lunars as toll.
Okay, that was.
I pay that gladly.
Mhm.
And they ask if you need a hiding place, if you are here hiding from for many hide down in the dark waters.
I'd say that no, we do not need a hiding place. We are seekers who've come seeking our companion, seeking our ally, not to cause trouble, nor are we running from anyone.
They ask if you have brought anything of use to them from for the world of earth, air, and fire.
I brought some bags of earth, by the way. You remember?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
What have you brought of use to them?
Earth, which is very rare here because it's all water. I can even bless it a little bit if they want to have it blessed by me.
I was about to say Hasia, but I think you have a problem like smoking it in here. I don't think they can really do that.
Yeah, but I mean, this is real earth from the outside of the puzzle canal. This is really, really special dirt.
Say that we are things of the water.
That's the reason why it's so important for you.
We do not grow within the earth. We grow within the water.
Yeah, but to understand the outside.
We are the oldest.
We bring some things. We can give you items that would let you bring your water where you want to go. Because they do is there any land beside this, or is it just water?
It's just water until you get to the edge of the cave.
Imagine how much fun when you can pick up the water and sort of pour it back into the.
Yeah, we have amphoras that would allow you to hold or carry water.
We can give you a torch to bring light into the darkness, but not underwater.
Mm-hmm.
They ask, what metal do you have? You come from the lands. You are humans. You are the makers of metals. Do you bring metals? Do you bring cloth?
We have twine. We have we probably got an extra cloak. We have cloaks.
I have beautiful, colorful cloaks.
And we have we can give them some javelins which are tipped with metal.
I have beautiful, flowing, colorful cloaks. And that's certainly something for them, I hope. For her, even, the priestess.
They will take those. They will take those things, and they. She says we will accept these as gifts of friendship. These cloaks and twine and other things that you have offered. And we need to know you are men from above the waters. Do you serve the and they give they call this the dark naiads. Do you serve the dark naiads?
No.
Do you serve their children? Do you serve the goddesses of the waters beneath the plants?
That's the earth, right?
No, they say naiads, water goddesses.
Oh.
Do you serve the water goddesses from the dark waters where nothing grows and nothing lives?
No.
No.
Is that what Gina says?
I don't
Does
know.
Gina say she serves the dark waters?
No. No waters. Only dark earth.
Actually, yeah, no. We actually serve, the rain god.
Yeah.
In the sky. I mean, I'm practically all water, with the exception of a bit of fire, but they don't need to know that too much.
Serve the god of air, of storm, he who brings fertility to the land.
The priestess says you serve the beater, the whipper, the breaker of waves. He is no friend of ours, although you love a plant goddess. But the beater and the breaker is better than the dark waters. And further within is the realm of the dark waters. They are things of death and darkness and water. And we do not go further within the canals or further within the waters than within our domain. Where do you go?
May I ask her? We're following our friend. Has he passed through here?
Who is your friend?
Argrath, the white bull.
That doesn't
He is
mean anything to her.
He is a man who comes on a reed boat. There were two of them. They traveled. We asked when we passed by. They may have passed by those initial plants where we met some of your people.
He possesses great power. You could not have missed him.
His spirit shines brightly.
She says that there were men that recently entered in to the deeper maze. But the deeper maze is that is the waters claimed. Let me just double check here. Yes, that is the waters claimed by the goddesses of the dark waters. It is deeper down.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
There are many things within there. It is and the deeper maze encircles the hidden maze, which is the center of this place. We avoid the deeper maze and we hide for the things of the hidden darkness. We advise the same to you. You can be here and we will feed you seaweed. It's like, I'm sure they have seaweed dishes. Yummy, yummy seaweed. Come on, who all loves seaweed? We all love seaweed, right?
Yum.
It's great. I love seaweed soup.
So that her advice is for you to avoid the deeper maze, but we know where this is.
Well, we would like your help and your direction so that we may go there. Much as I do not like to profess to want to do this. It is a thing I must. It is my duty, and I will not shirk from it.
She says that they exited to the north, so that would be the left-handed exit from this grotto, and from there they entered. They headed deep into the deeper maze. Whether that was where they wished to, where they ended, we don't know. We are our scouts and our spirits rarely enter the deeper maze lest they become slaves of the goddesses of the dark waters.
Sounds
most appealing.
Yep.
If you wish to enter this way, we will not stop you, but you may not come back into our grotto.
Why is that?
We will not allow that. We will allow you out safely with safe passage, but we will not allow you to enter because we will not know whether we will not be able to know whether you have become slaves of the goddesses of the dark waters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Zombies, undead, something.
Could
Weird. Should have brought the duck.
Should have brought a duck.
Well, had we realized that Colbrass the boatsman had to pull one arm, we probably would have got a boatsman with us.
That would
but
be
he might
the
be
duck.
terrified by now. Well, we'll thank them for their information and say that is and we will respect their wisdom, and we will respect and not return this way. For we realize that your life is that this place here is sacred, and we would never wish to harm it.
They warn you that the dark the goddesses of the dark water have many children, and that these goddesses of the dark water are they are powerful and malignant, and they demand to be worshipped with living things.
Well, they have none of their own.
And that if you kill their children, they will hate you forever.
Okay.
Okay, task 1, kill the children.
Or they will hate you forever.
Task 2, try to, sort of smoothen the waves with the goddesses of the dark waters.
They are our enemies.
Yes, well, if imagine a moment if we would come back, we could maybe tell you some interesting and important information about your enemies.
But they wouldn't trust us is the problem.
They say that landmen are weak.
I'm actually a water man. I've been on the water all my life.
They ask, are you one of the sons of Wertog? They're now very excited about this. She comes up to you and wants to inspect.
Do I know who that might be?
You do, actually. Your character does. You don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wertog, the Wertogi are the green-skinned amphibious men who once ruled the seas 1,000 years ago. They were half man and half water spirit. Are you going to claim to be one of them?
Well, it's pretty obvious I'm not, I think.
They can't tell the difference. They're a
Okay.
bunch of plants. They want to know if that's what you're claiming to be. Are you claiming to be one of the watermen?
Well, let's just say I've lived on the water all my life. I am one with water.
How strong is your water rune?
95.
Wow. That's right. You are mostly water. Would you roll against it just to humor me?
Yep. Oh, 13. So that's a special.
They're willing to let you in, but not the others.
Oh.
Yes, I have an escape plan. So anyway, that's very generous of them. And as I said, in return, I shall give them what information I have found about their enemies.
They say that the water goddesses here are they're the malignant and the dead form of the benevolent goddess, the benevolent and graceful goddesses of water in the surface world, which you guys would know as naiads, right? The river nymphs. These are their maleficent, even cannibalistic underworld form. And what was fertile and benevolent above is malevolent and dangerous. So I think maybe this is everybody, is this a good place as they head you out? This is a good place to stop for tonight?
Yep.
Awesome. Then they escort you all, especially Garen. They escort you out on the left side of the grotto and say that only Kobrast may return.
They don't think very highly of us, do they? Like we're incapable of getting back without being possessed or... Oh, yeah.
They're humans.
Mm.
Humans kind of suck. They're kind of useless. I mean, look at you. How do you even swim? You're on a bunch of grasses that you've tied together.
Mm. Yeah, it is a bit embarrassing, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, what would happen if this boat tipped over?
Blub, 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 blub. That would
You would
happen.
actually drown.
Yeah.
Actually, I have 25 on swimming.
Yeah,
Oh,
you would drown.
okay. What do I have? I have an amazing 30%. I somehow learned to swim.
Final question before Garen disappears. Who all is wearing armor? Who all is wearing armor and has a swim skill of less than 50%?
I could always ask
can
him.
fly.
I don't have anything on torso and chest though.
Which is
it.
good.
It's still heavy.
I'm still heavy. I know. I'm iron.
Oh my,
Never
I
sin.
probably try to augment with my water rune. That should keep me.
that's right. But Cobras can fly, can't he?
This
He-
can fly.
Nisk
Yes, can
gives-
fly.
Nisk
He can
fly.
fly and he can jump.
Why have
Cobras
you never
do-
flown anywhere? I mean, just imagine how
And
cool.
you don't have any air elementals that are your friendly sidekicks
No.
that you know how to summon? Well, golly. All right. Well, this is a good place to stop as you guys head out the cavern back into the canals, heading towards the path that Argrath took. And with that, let's wrap it up for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in to the Tales of the White Bull, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
No.